Hello and welcome to part 20 of our Dominion 6 playthrough as middle-aged Nidavangr. So, in the last episode we have some angry vines that are coming to, well, kind of coming to fight us, which I'm not overly happy with, but we're going to have to do something about that, aren't we? I think the main thing that we're going to be doing just now is going to be sending Bone Meal, if he can, to teleport over to this area over here at low mark. Once he's in low mark, he can then claim this throne. This throne is a really good throne for us. This is the throne of the sun. It's going to give us heat, not that great. It's going to give us order, very nice. And it's going to give us a little bit of growth as well as a bunch of fire gems too, which is very nice. More importantly, massive amount of dominion spread and a lot of ascension points, which we will need to win the game. Currently, we have 4 ascension points. We did have 6 when we had the throne of the first age, but that's currently been taken over by the terrible forces of Asphodel. So we have to get that back. Once we get that back, once we also claim the Throne of the Sun, that's us 9 points towards our 14 Ascension points. We still need to take quite a few thrones in order to get there, but we are on the right track. Speaking of being on the right track, we also need to be a little bit careful about our forces underground. This is obviously like a big area that Asphodel can come get us to, and it looks like they're also moving over towards this throne. Speaking of this throne, we're going to keep a little eye on it. We're going to keep a scout on it there. We're not sure what thrones these are. These are probably some more of the +1 ones. There is also another throne over here in the chambers underneath. It looks like Asphodel has set up shop here. We're going to need to concentrate our efforts on getting at the weed killer, I think. Speaking of that, we have some ways in which we can help, and that's mostly through our Crow clan. So we should definitely make sure that we're getting them twice born just ready so they can come back. The Crow clan also needs to do that as well. And the main reason for this is because we're going to be using them to wither bones these foes, which should hopefully help us quite a lot. Let's stop recruiting commanders here. We need to recruit some of our bear clan. We should also, over here, probably with one of our wolves, we'll construct a... we can't construct a lab because we don't have the income. Right, let's take away some of our recruitment where we can. We don't need to recruit all of these guys here. I mean, it would be nice to have more troops at the moment, but we don't need them. We're going to have to pull our army back as well. This is not a fantastic place to be in, but we'll just kind of move our guys out because we need them to get out of here. We could move this very large army over here into Asphodel here just to retake this province, which I think is probably a good idea, but it will mean that they aren't able to get down south quicker. Yeah, let's just move them down. We can always have somebody else, probably a couple of our bear clan, come over here and retake this province for us. The main thing is we want to build a laboratory here just so we can teleport our pretender away after this. And let's make sure as well, we're preaching our dominion here just a little bit. Cert is going to fly over here all stealthy like. We're also going to get our wolves to do the same because we're going to have to concentrate our forces down here in order to defend against the Asphodelian menace. Now, we could also start bringing out our communion. We have some guys ready to start our communion here, so I think that's what we will do. We should have the thaumaturges do it. Yep, so we're going to get them to cast Communion Master, and then we need to have a little think about what we want them to cast with their Astral. Now, something they could be casting is Solar Rays. This doesn't have the biggest area of effect, but with enough of them, you can really do some number on the undead, and it doesn't cost that much fatigue, which is also nice. Stellar Cascade won't really help us at all. Astral Geyser could, but his magic resistance negates, and the horror marks. Unsure. Stream of Life won't help either. I think probably the best idea for them is either to cast some big buffs with their astral magic, or just to be a Solar Rays battery. I think Solar Rays is probably a better idea, so we'll just get them to do that. Cast Solar Rays, bunch of them. Let's have a look at our saved stuff here, so we don't need number 9, so we'll take this and pop this over here. And the way we're going to set this up is we're probably going to set this up to be a... It's not going to be fatigue neutral, unfortunately, but it will be a longer lasting communion. It's very, very balanced. The only issue is we don't have any access to anything like Earth in order to cut out some of the fatigue that we're getting. So yeah, we'll save these here, and we'll make these guys all communion slaves. Potentially actually having 4 slaves to the 3 masters. That should be able to hold them for quite a bit more. That'll buff them up quite a bit, so they're not taking as much fatigue from the solar rays. Does mean that we're slinging out less spells though, which is a little bit of a problem. We could potentially also include some astral casters in order to cast something like Light of the Northern Star, just to buff up everybody, which could be an idea, but we've got our Crow clan currently busy. Gunner and these guys here, I'm going to move on down. Ogdeburn, let's see your forces here, so you've got a couple of guys there. Eggle, we'll get you to move along as well. Gunner, can you take any more on Nidbathe? Indeed you can, so we'll grab them. We'll also grab these lovely little blender ladies. And we'll keep these guys in hold and attack because we can potentially use them in a little bit. Ogdeburn, you will grab the rest of the Nidbathe when they become available. We have a bunch of archers here, very, very nice. We'll get rid of some of these ladies here just so we can build up our laboratory up in Lowmark. Like so. And by building that, it means that our pretender can get out just fine. Loading, how far can you go? You can only still go this far, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked it if you could have got a little bit further. You are one of our better death casters. We will need you for your wither bones. Laj, we're going to get you to probably move up to the Windswept Desert. That's a couple of mechanical men. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Speaking of John dying, they do have some troops over here, and you are running out of troops just ever so slightly, which is a little bit annoying. We could add these guys in here just to buff up our numbers a little bit. We also have our Trogs, so I think we'll bring our Trogs and we'll bring our John dying over here to the Hoe, just so we can get an idea what's outside in the Chrome Peaks. We could lose him here, but as we said before, John dying doesn't die very often. At least that's the hope. Otherwise, we're doing okay down here. I would have loved to have a little bit more time so we could send some more guys here, which we still could potentially do. We could send this army underground here into the Hidden Realm. They should be able to take out that and then move on to the Zots, and that might be a better idea than sending John dying into die. If we get him instead to move along here, he can claim this throne. We don't have to worry about our pretender to do that. And we'll maybe send Vidar. He's already searched here, whereas the bear has not, so we'll get him to move there. With these lizards, I think we'll just get them to research. Let's have a little double check of our magical treasury. What do we have? We have a bunch of spell focuses, which I'm tempted to give out to our Crow clan when we get a second. Rodvinter is actually a pretty good astral caster. If we potentially get him one of them. Yes, and we could even change him into a normal Crow clan and get him to meet up with that force coming out of Nidavangr. If we then give him some Boots of the Messenger, we'll probably give him the Skull Staff as well, just to boost up his death. He can't quite reach there in one turn, which is a bit of a shame, but he should be able to meet up with the army after that. Yes, I think that's worth it. And just to double check, of course, yep, he is Twiceborn. Fantastic. Grain, however, is actually a fairly good commander, and we need to have a little think about what's going to happen here. This force here is a little bit on the scary side. These guys, again, pretty scary, and there's a lot of units over here. We're going to be very much reliant on our Wither Bones cast in order to get rid of this, other than our Stellar Cascades. So we've got to worry about that just a little bit. Speaking of which, Gran, what can we get you to do? So definitely we want you to be casting a lot of Wither Bones. It's going to be very, very helpful for us. The rest of it, it's not so much. We could start controlling the dead. That could be useful. But I think we just really want to be using Wither Bones. Massive area effect, lots of damage. Is magic resistant check, but it still does half damage, so it will still affect the undead. I think we're just going to get you to cast a whole bunch of them, and that should be fine. As it comes for Thorvaldi and Eggle, we can also use the astral spell. Power of the Spheres. There we go. We can use Power of Spheres, boost them up to Death 3, and that means that they can then also cast the Witherbone spell, which I think is what we're going to do. So if we get them to cast Power of the Spheres, and then we can just get them to cast Witherbones. And we could potentially even start thinking about coming out here. Let's see if we can save up something else. Yep, let's take on number 7. I do wish you could have more things saved, especially when you've got all these different kinds of mages, but never mind. We'll give you some pearls, and we'll give you some pearls as well. We could potentially think about moving out. This is an army mostly of archers, which is a little bit of a shame, but we do have a couple of bears there as well. We don't really have a leader, though, in order to lead them, which is a shame. So if we get a Nid Jarl, he can potentially lead them. How are we doing over here? We've got a bunch of ladies here. And we have Ingvald as well. This is good. Well, this is quite a large number of Jade Maidens, so we'll give them a good bless as well. And we will just grab as many units as we can, bring them over to our other fortification, just so we have the troops available. Put Bear in with the bears. The Bear Clan Warriors, it seems fine to me. And we'll get these guys to move, these bears to move over here. Speaking of our research, how are we doing? We are getting enchantment level 6 next turn. That's going to be very, very, very nice for us. We can potentially think about casting things like Relief once we get up high enough in our nature magic. Hail of the Serpent Fangs isn't going to be very useful, but we have other spells that we can use out of enchantment, mostly Giant Strength Warriors, with our bears, but it will be quite the Earth Gem investment. We should definitely think about getting construction level 7 before more boosters. That will be very, very useful. I think enchantment level 6, then alteration level 7 is a good idea. Maybe we skip conjuration level 7, we get construction first, then we get conjuration. I think that might be a better idea. And when it comes to Ogburn, there's a couple of guys over here that we could take. I kind of want to keep these guys here. We have a good bit of province defense over in Yavakish. We do not over here in Vepter, so there we go. That's what we're going to put a little bit of our money into. We're going to get Hildegun to just wait here for now. Grain, we're going to get you to research. We're going to have one turn where before we can get out all these archers, and we could potentially actually summon some additional troops in order to help us. Leogryphs could be an idea. You do get quite a lot of them. It's 20 for 12. It's not bad, but we do get more bears for a cheaper cost. They will probably run, though, is the only thing. But I think that's probably worth it. Yeah. I think we could get Iron Pigs, but they'll just run. We'll get bears. We'll get a bunch of bears as just to supplement our troops. I mean, potentially we could also get some Vine Men. We won't summon very many of them. That is another idea. No, we'll just stick with the bears for now. At least we know the bears can do some damage. We just need them to hold these guys here while the archers do the work. Speaking of the archers, let's maybe change out the archers that we're making. And let's instead get a couple of Nidvalia. We want to just get as much damage as we can out as soon as possible. Donalade, we'll get you to move over to here, and we're going to get you to be casting the Wither Bones. We'll not make you cast Power of the Spheres. You don't need to. So we'll get you to move to the Oaklands here. This will mean that if we are attacked, then at least we have that there. There's a bunch of wolves here at least that should be able to hold the line for a little bit until we get our Wither Bones off against the undead. So yeah, things are looking a little bit dicey at the moment. I was not hoping to be fighting against Asphodel. I was kind of hoping that they would stay fighting against Pyrene for a little bit longer so we could take over Eru. That plan is now in shambles. We now also have a fairly opened up throne over here next to Eru. Could be worth actually trying to do some diplomatic actions with Eru. Hey Eru, you know what? Let's just propose a non-aggression pact with you. We'll have to go to war with them at some point, but for just now, they're fighting Atlantis. They're not fighting us. We're fighting Asphodel. It means that we can just completely focus on Asphodel. Have a little look at our guys here. So Freck, do we want you to move with any of those guys? Not at the moment. Take that Crow Clan archer out. Yeah, you're fine. We could potentially think about moving onto here. I mean, that could be an idea, but then if we get attacked, we don't really have the units to assist. So I think, yeah, we'll wait until we have our guys over there a little bit sooner. We'll fly Logi over to here. He cannot pick up an Astral Gem, so hopefully we'll just get him to sneak so he doesn't die. We'll get our bear Fritholf to move over here. We'll get our scout to wait. Frike, we'll get you to wait for one turn. And we'll do the same over here. Netaboa, we haven't even thought about you. So we'll get some more troops over there. How are we doing for our Crow Clan? Slowly but surely we're getting them out. Asphodel are going to be quite scary to fight against with all of their sleeping stuff that they can do. But I think that's pretty much all we can do for now. We're going to have a massive shift of our forces down towards the south just so we can try and retake the lands of Pyrene. The other annoying thing is as well, we'll be fighting into Asphodel, so a lot of this territory will not be worth as much as it would be for, say, like another living nation like Eru, but them's the breaks. That's what we're going to do. Gotta love pop kill nations. Right, yeah. I think we are good to go, so yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so we managed to research enchantment. We've done a lot of Twiceborn. Did we get anything in Dark Knowledge? No, we did not. We've cast Teleport. Bunch of battles that have been happening. Good to know, good to know. Let's see. We've been attacked in Allegria. Let's have a little look. So this is our crows, casting some body ethereals. There's nothing to Wither Bones, so that script is a little bit wasted. They are casting lightning bolt. The slaves should hopefully deal with these centaurs. Good stuff, good stuff. And the armies of Asphodel have been routed by a mixture of PD and our lovely crow guy with a whole bunch of slaves. Good job. Good job, you. Well done. Did we lose anything there? Nah, just some province defense. Great. Good stuff, Mr. Crow. There was also a battle in Veptir. Let's have a little look here. This is a little bit more scary. Bunch of mandrakes. Or mannequins, sorry, not mandrakes. Where are we, Harry Potter? Barbarians will lose this. They'll fall asleep. Get poisoned. Yeah, it's just not very nice for them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good to know. There was also a battle in the hole. Let's have a little look down here. This is our troglodytes against their fairly basic level of PD. They do have a couple of ogres, which I'm less happy about, but we've managed to just tear through their minotaur, trample them over, and the troglodytes are doing work. Good stuff, boys. At least we managed to take that out. We did lose quite a lot of them, which is a little bit of a shame. We also lost our commander, which is another big shame. But at the very least, we managed to take the province. There was a battle in the Oaklands. We're being attacked again, so this is them attacking us with our wolves. We may HP rout, hopefully not. We're raising a whole bunch of dead. Yeah, it looks like the wolves have routed, and now we're just attacking all of them with our wonderful amounts of undead. Let's go, boys, let's go. Good stuff, good stuff. They are using a bunch of priest spells just to get rid of it, but I think we can get around these troops here. Yeah, perfect. Good job, Crow boys. Love to see it. And there's also a battle in Roka. Let's have a look here. This is a larger army, indeed, and our province defense will get absolutely crushed by this. It's not even close. Okay, good to see. Yeah. A little bit worried about these Carrion Horse. You can see here they have an attack, but they also have a Sleep Vine attack that causes fatigue. That's going to be a really big problem for our Sacreds. Fingers crossed we'll be alright. Vladimir Reclutin was discovered, but he retreated into enemy territory. Poor guy. He'll be back, I'm sure. Nothing to worry about there. So there was also an unexpected event happening in Hagoria and in the Black Alps. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to look here. So in Roka, they have taken over the start of our fort. Obviously, we managed to beat them in Ligria. I think now we begin our march north. I think that's probably the best idea. Right, okay, so we have a bunch of bears. Big, undisciplined blob. Going to sit at the front. That's fine, get you to stay behind. We have a bunch of archers here. And the rest of the archers will be on our second commander, like so. This is a lot of archers for us to use. Probably too many, to be honest, but I'm not complaining. More arrows means that we'll potentially kill the undead. The issue they do is they do piercing damage. Piercing damage is not very good against the undead. They all have resistance to it. But no matter, to war. And we will take a bunch of our bears with us as well. Check our saves. So probably we want to do something that we don't really want them to be attacking if we can help it. So we may have to rethink some of our scripts. So I think something like number 5 is probably good. Get a bunch of blessings, but instead we'll do of attacking, we'll do advance and cast spells. Like so. So we're getting a bunch of group barkskins off, which is going to be very, very helpful. Like so, we'll get some on our bears as well. And then they'll march forward just to defend our men. I think that's good enough for us. Get a bunch of barkskins off, hopefully on the bears. They'll come in, they will start casting more spells as they get closer. I think overall that's pretty good. For the one up the front, we'll give him a couple of blenders as well, just to help him out. And we'll get them to move into the Feral Woods. Same over here, we have a whole bunch of our Crow clan. Fantastic, let's go boys. Make sure that we're handing out our Astrals. And we'll get you to cast Power of the Spheres as well. We'll give you an Astral, a couple Astral Pearls too. And Logi, you need to the same as well, just so we can get these Wither Bones off where we need it. Good stuff. Otherwise, they'll just sit there and they'll raise dead, and that's also fine. Strigdig, we're going to get you to be moving forward. What can we get you to do with your blood? At the moment, just bleed, because we don't have any research in it. Of course. Otherwise, some air magic could be useful. We could get a couple of mist forms on. Only issue is that Asphodel does have magic weapons, which is a little bit of a shame. And we don't have a laboratory to give you any kind of thing like that. If we just maybe use some Arrow of the Western Winds, that could be an idea just to hit them. Hopefully hit their commanders. That's actually not a bad idea. I quite like the idea of that. We'll do that. Worst comes to worst, we've got some blood slaves. They'll defend them. With our troops here, we'll get them to move into Liguria in order to then move, hopefully, into the first forest. And we've got our other girls coming over here. We'll get them to actually move into the Oaklands in case they attack. Let's get a couple of guys coming out with the quickness moss bodies, just to help out as well. And Ragnhild, you have no troops. So our first blood hunting operation leaves a little bit to be desired, but that's fine. We have our bears. We're going to have our sacreds as well. They're going to come in. Let's make sure they're scripted as well. We're just going to hold and attack rear. These guys are going to hold and attack closest. And these guys are going to fire closest. Good stuff. And these guys are undisciplined. They'll just charge on and die. And these ladies will try and get round the back and hopefully take out any of their commanders. We need to get a commander over here to pick up some more of these archers. Whole bunch of tower constructs. So here we are under siege. We can see our wall integrity has massively reduced. That's because they've got some tower constructs and they've got a bunch of bigger stuff as well. Looks like they're heading into the Vispir. So these lovely people will move into probably Grimir, because I imagine they'll move into the Golden Fens, but they could technically move pretty much anywhere they want. But at least we have our fortification up over here. We have loading. Loading will reinforce these guys over here. These lovely people here will start to move on down like so. They don't have any troops with them, which is a little bit concerning, but they are going to be moving here a little bit slower. Yeah, we'll just try and get our people down to Scythia. Maybe just moving these guys to Scythia and then taking a force to move off by themselves. Couple of bears. We should have the research now that we can do it. Double checking our save stuff here. What do we want to get rid of? We could put them on number 4 and then give them a slight difference. We don't need the group bark skin. We've got the blessing, personal iron skin. What else do they probably want to do? The iron skin will help them quite a lot if we give them something like a temper flesh. That seems good to me. And then could get them to start casting at Storm of Thorns. Could be useful. It does do piercing damage, but at least we'll start to hold them up. Poison ward. Personal regeneration, obviously. Need to get that on the go. And then what else could we get them to cast? Not really. It's annoying actually that these guys aren't Earth 2. I'd love it if they were Earth 2. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, I think we just get them to do that and then we tell them, hey, you know, you're going to shoot out a bunch of Storm of Thorns. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good script. Let's use that. We'll get them all like so. And that should hopefully improve their natural protection enough to the point where they're able to take on this small PD force fairly effectively. Let's also make sure they're right at the back, like so. We can get a nice Storm of Thorns off. And that should be good. We maybe can get them to advance and cast spells rather than attack. Because they will attack when they get in melee range, but otherwise they can just cast some more buffs. Get our scout to wait here. Hello, God. Let's make sure that you're going to claim this throne. We'll start moving our Wolfie down here. A couple more priests coming out. Very, very nice. Let's preach out our dominion a little bit more. We didn't receive a message from Eru. Hopefully they're considering our nap, but we'll just have to see. Sigmund, we'll get you to move down over here, so at least you are a part of these guys here. How are we doing down here? Thrown out, we did claim that? Yeah, we did claim that. Perfect. Okay, we could start to scout this out, which I think we will. VR, we're going to scout that as well. And then you're actually going to come with John Dying to help out. Our troops here, we are moving them down here. I would have loved to send them down into the underground, but I think that's something we can do at any time. Nidavoa is a little bit out in the open. Let's make sure that we're recruiting a bunch of our blender ladies there. They should hopefully be able to slash through the forces of the undead. Let's also make sure we give them a commander. And we'll give them a bear clan as well that they can recruit next turn. Over here, we finally stopped all of our death casting with our dark knowledge. And we've got 2 of our guys here who are twice-born. Fantastic. We don't have the death gems to give them both a skull staff, which is a little bit annoying. So instead what we're going to do, we're going to fly them over in a bow, so we at least have some people. They can just sit there, they can use their power of the spheres to get to death 3, and from there they can start casting things like Wither Bones, and I think that'll be a big help. A lot of guys here as well. We could potentially, what can we summon with our water? There's nothing really good. Ice Drakes, Frost isn't that great against the undead, that is the only thing. Vile Water, no. I mean, Vile Water could be useful, I guess. What we really need is Cleansing Water, which we do have. This is going to be fantastic for us. This is actually going to make all of our wolves fantastic. For that, we should actually get some more Wolf Clan. So we're going to get our Wolf Clan to start casting that Cleansing Water, so that it does massive amount of damage to undead, large area effect, basically like another Withering Bones. So we're going to get them to cast a whole bunch of them. What can we get rid of? We can probably get rid of... Number 8's pretty nice. The Quickness Bless is pretty good. Ben's cast spells. Probably number 2. Yeah, number 2. Get rid of, just for Cleansing Water. Good stuff. Right, you guys research. Make sure we've got all of our guys who aren't casting things like Quickness or something that we've decided upon. Maybe get one of you guys just to be on the Cleansing Water spam. And that'll be pretty good. You guys over here, so we don't forget. Let's get them going. Cleansing Water, Cleansing Water, Cleansing Water. You guys are already casting Quickness and Blessing, so we'll keep that there. Good stuff, good stuff. We could potentially move our forces down the first force, but I kind of want to keep them around Roka just because we have this big army out the front. We don't really have a chance to get them out unless we start to sneak them out, which we can do. But I don't really want to. I want to make sure that we're here. We're probably going to last for one more turn. And in that respect, maybe keeping the Crow Clan here so they're able to fly in to help with the breaking of the siege. Fafnir and Co, you will actually sneak in over here. And we'll get you guys as well on the Cleansing Water. Just because we've got a large number of mannequins here, this will help us clear that out. Especially if these other forces over here also comes to help out as well. Cert, we will get you over to Oka as well. We need you in there for your Wither Bones, and that should hopefully help us out quite a bit. Okay, what else can we do? Ogdeburn, we'll give you the other ones of these dudes. Fantastic. Do we send you out? I don't think you have enough force to deal with that many mannequins. We'll get some more blenders where we can. Fantastic. We are claiming this throne. So at least we're getting that fire resistance, we're getting that Dominion spread, we're also getting a whole bunch of fire gems, if only we could use them, but I can't remember if this throne is one of the ones that lets you recruit people as well when you claim it. We will have to see. Sigvald will get you to, or Sigvard, sorry, we'll get you to hold there. As it comes for our troglodytes, they're obviously not feeling that great. Let's actually just make a scout here if we can. You can see a fairly size force over there. How are we doing for our trogs? Let's get some more if we can, please. Thank you very much. And over here, let's maybe actually consider getting some more Wolf Clan just for the Cleansing Waters when we need them. Grain, we're going to get you to stay here. You're just going to patrol for a second because you're just going to stay here to meet up with John Dying as he tries to push towards this throne. We'll see how he does. And with you guys here, you guys are moving. We'll keep you guys on research for just now. We don't want our research to drop too low. We won't get alteration level 7 this turn, but we will the next again, so that's fine. And other than that, you guys are all moving forward. We'll get Jor to move as well. Sadly, can't move any further than that. Arkville, we could get you to move in here as well. Like so. Good stuff, so you can at least help out with that. Sigmund's moving down, Bove's moving down. Okay, I think that's all we can do. We've used up all of our gold. We've used up all of our commanders. I think with that we're good, unless we do have enough of these guys here that we could think about sending out another sort of force of communions, which isn't a bad idea, so let's do that. So yeah, we'll get a couple of masters, a couple of slaves, boom, nice stable communion. They should be fine. We'll get them to move into here, into Murias, and then we can move into Oaklands and help us out in either the First Forest or the Feral Woods, depending on what happens. Okay, right, let's claim another throne. Let's get it done. Let's chop some wood. Let's see how we do. Okay, so we sent us a herald over here. They did not accept. That's a little bit of a shame. We have found a magical site, Well of Yesterday's Waters. Very, very nice. There was a battle in Lightport. We have been attacked by some undead viney elephants, which our province defense will not be able to defend against. So there they go. Fortunately, the knights can take out maybe a few of them, but not enough to be of any use, and then the animals will just tear through the rest of our forces. Not ideal, not ideal. So we lost Lightport, not great. There was a battle in the Bountiful Land. Smaller force, we've got just some satyrs and some sea dogs against what is actually a fairly concentrated province defense, so I don't see this being an issue. We should be able to stab out these sea dogs, shoot them down, the satyrs will close. I think even the archers can just take these guys out in melee. Yep, good job guys, good job. Fantastic. There was a battle in Tamilga where it looks like Pyrene was defending with their little bit of guys under the sea, and we can see actually, spoilers for the turn, that Pyrene has been defeated, leaving only ourselves, Asphodel, Atlantis, and Eru as part of this one to go. Alright, Feral Woods. What's happening in the Feral Woods? This is us attacking with our bears and our longbowmen against a fairly small force. You can see the number of arrows flying in. Fantastic. The bears completely destroyed that elephant, or the undead reanimation of an elephant using vines, so that's good. And even though they are taking a bunch of damage, they should be able to just march on forward and take them out. Yes, they did. Fantastic. Good job, boys. Good job, boys. We lost 2 bears there, and they actually did a fairly decent job. There was a decent number of defenders there. There was a battle in the hole, so this is attacking where our troglodytes were. That is a fairly large army, who is probably going to mop us up under the ground. We don't really have a way of reinforcing that quickly, which is a little bit of a shame. We at least have that fortification to keep ourselves safe. But yeah, that is a little bit scary. There's also a battle in Melma. So what's happening in Melma? This is us with our bears. They have a little bit of province defense here, but nothing too bad. Getting personal regeneration. Storm of Thorns comes out, basically our own little volley, and they're going to run on in. Fantastic, off you go, boys. Animating trees, coming in to attack. Gift of the Serpent. Beast Fury. Come on, guys, you're going to help them out? Or are you going to stand there? I guess they are sitting there. Casting spells, some Death of the Dragons. The poison damage is going to help out quite a bit. This poor bear. I was going to say he's tanking up so much. Right, let's just start beating them on down. We've got a couple of trees we need to get rid of. Yep, indeed we have. Iron Will, Vine Arrows, Fist of Iron. You know me, I'm scared of Fist of Iron. And we've just got our other guy over there at the back. Let's just make sure they're going off there. Seem to be very much stuck on casting just random buffs. At least they're doing the occasional Storm of Thorns, but I'd prefer if they would just attack at this point. But never mind. The trees will eventually come into close combat and they'll just start hitting them, or casting something like Fist of Iron, which is fine as well. At least they do decent damage. Or summoning our own trees to attack. This is like the most climactic battle of the entire game. We know we've won this. I just kind of want to see... Oh, well, I want to make sure that we don't lose anybody else. Yep, come on, come on. This is like a Pokemon battle, except we're just using trees and bushes. Whose tree will win? You gotta catch them all. There you go. Okay, Asphodel has finally routed. Good stuff, yep. See you later. Cool. So we managed to take back Melma. We did lose one of our bears, very unfortunately, but, you know, things are going to happen. And there was also a battle in the Golden Fens. So it was a good job we didn't move our army over here. This is a bit of an issue, though, because this is a very good place in terms of resources. We want to take this back. This is an army pretty much entirely made up of the undead, which is good to know. So we can clear this out fairly easily with our crows. Good stuff. And what else has happened? An unexpected event happened in the Oaklands. We lost some province income. We got some unrest. Great. But yep, the biggest thing here is Israfil, the goddess of Pyrene, has been permanently vanquished. She doesn't own a single province, and that is her done. Which does make Asphodel very, very scary. They are now effectively, I mean, other than maybe us, and we can't really see Atlantis, but definitely in terms of the power ranking, I would say they're up top. Probably followed by us, probably followed by Eru, probably followed by Atlantis, but I haven't seen enough of Atlantis to be able to make a good call on that. But we'll just have to see how we're going forward. At least we had a couple of skirmishes. We've actually won our first battle. We'll be able to start pushing back after their surprise attack goes forward. Got to worry a little bit of Roka. The fortification is breached, but that's something to think about next episode. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. If you do like what we're doing here, please consider becoming a member of the Burger Band to get early access to videos, and also to just show your appreciation to the channel. We appreciate every single one of all of our members. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and obviously if you want to become one of our commanders, please leave a comment down below which commander you'd like to be, and we'll get you put into the game as quickly as we can. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.